Hello, and welcome to another vlog posting from me, Drew Wilson. Now, previously I talked about Facebook rolling out news links and how I was, nervously watching what was going on. Well, we are into week 2 in this, and a whole bunch of sites got hit. This includes the CBC, CTV News, Global News, the Globe and Mail, the National Post, and a whole bunch of others. Now, what may come as a surprise to some of you is that the international media also got hit with the news link blocking. This includes CNN, the New York Times, Fox News, the BBC, and plenty of others. Everyone is getting hit. Now, for clarity, the news links blocking only affects Canadian users. So if you are someone in the US, the links will appear without a problem. If you are Canadian, however, it's a different matter entirely. It isn't just large news sites getting hit either. I've heard of Chat TV, Frontenac News, and numerous other sites like, smaller sites getting hit as well. Long story short, news is currently getting completely burned to the ground on Facebook for, Canadian users. All this was entirely predictable because this is a move that Facebook has long warned about. Experts in smaller news sites also long warned about this being an outcome as well. The problem was that all these warnings were flatly ignored and the government pressed ahead with this anyway. The bill supporters kept banging the drum that because the blocking didn't happen in Australia, that it wouldn't happen here. Obviously, Facebook and Google were never designated in Australia in exchange for a handful of deals, but those are just, pesky talking point or, pesky facts that just supporters would rather you kind of forget about. Well, with the events happening on Facebook now, I think it's safe to say that the Australian talking point is now pretty much well and truly dead at this point. This has gone on for more than a week, and it doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon. Well, we are into week 2, as I mentioned earlier, and moving on to week 3, and you might be wondering, is the Freezenet Facebook page surviving in all this? To my absolute and total relief, it has. Whew. I've tested my page with a user who is affected by the news link blocking, and it is completely unaffected so far. Now, this is a good sign so far, but the thing is, to remember is that we have a few weeks left going into the end of the month. And to my knowledge, Facebook is rolling out the news links blocking throughout the month this month. So this is not over by any means. For all I know, they are just hiding the obvious large news sites, and they could still work on getting other sites onto their news blocking list as well. So yeah, some small sites may have gotten hit, but maybe others is still on the to-do list for them. I don't know. And the other thing too is not everyone is affected by this blocking as well. So more users could still be impacted later on down the road. Still, with all that said, so far my site is still miraculously still on Facebook. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, I don't have a hope in being designated as an eligible news source as I'm too specialized and I don't adhere to various ethical codes. I know it sounds sketchy, but apparently that's now a good thing to not be, conforming to ethical codes. Again, like I said previously, it's the world we live in now. It's really weird. In theory, I should still be, unaffected. Still, it's easy to assume that Facebook would rather risk overblocking and block as much stuff as possible rather than somehow miss a few news sites and run afoul of the new law. I mean, that's entirely possible. And in fact, some observers have been pointing this out for quite some time, that they'll just block everything just to be sure. So, although basically if I'm designated, if I'm basically legally technically not supposed to be eligible, but Facebook thinks, well, we want to be sure and block me anyway. I mean, that's entirely possible. I honestly would be surprised at that outcome either. But I may still fly under the radar. I don't know. So anyway, I'm not exactly out of the woods yet, but so far, still alive. To give you a perspective on what this feels like so far, well, have you ever seen one of those pictures of the aftermath of a massive wildfire and several blocks of houses have been burned to the ground, yet one house somewhere in the middle somehow manages to remain largely unscathed? it feels like I'm in that house freaking out. That's what it feels like right now to me anyway. Not gonna lie, the whole situation is downright scary to me. I'm gonna continue to, monitor the situation. If anything changes, I'll probably let you know. But so far, so good. Just hunkering down, hoping my small little news site doesn't get engulfed in flames like so many others at the moment. And honestly, I really do feel bad for everyone who has been affected, like the small news sites that thought, well, we're just a small, local journalism outlet of like 12,000 readers or whatever. We're not going to be affected. And then suddenly your Facebook presence has been wiped off the face of the earth. I don't envy that position at all. And I'm sure there's more than a number of websites out there that are just like freaking out because they thought, well, we'll just go by unscathed, and suddenly they're swept up into this. Like, it's not a good situation. I'm not celebrating this by any means, but I'm just we're just hoping I survive in all this. And, so far, so good. So I guess that's pretty much it for my the latest updates I have for you right now. Still monitoring the situation, still hoping that, maybe I will skirt by these things because, for one, I'm so small. For another, I only have one person working on this, and that's, me, and I have the whole ethical codes thing on top of it all. Like, I mean, legally, yes, it looks like I will, but you don't want to like bank your entire career on this either. I mean, it's like fun in theory, but in practice, yeah, you'd rather not be in this situation. But yeah, again, like I guess that's all I have for now. If you like this video, want to support this channel, there are plenty of ways you can do so. You can drop us a like, let us know here you're doing a great job, keep up the good work. You can also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, get real-time updates on the videos we posted. And honestly, notifications are absolutely the fastest way you can find out about something whenever we upload something new. But if you got too many notifications, that's cool too. You can just turn on the subscription or subscribe to the channel, and that will help us out as well. So that's one way you can support us. Another way you can support us is checking out our website, freezenet.ca, and you can check out all the latest in music reviews, video game reviews. We have a whole ton of news, largely focused on Bill C-18, unsurprisingly, because yeah, I'm a little scared by this right now. We also have a full-fledged wiki as well, and you can check out all the music that I've been able to find out completely unfiltered. So if you don't want my opinion, well, that's a pretty cool way you can find out about music anyway, is checking out our wiki. But 4,000, I think it was 4,000 hours worth of stuff on there so far, and yeah, hoping to build up on that more soon as I catch myself up on other things. Also, you can, if you want to more directly support this channel, there's a few ways you can do that as well. You can subscribe to our Patreon page, patreon.com/freezenet, and through that you can get cool insider information. You can get early access to some of our reviews. You can get early access to our podcast, which is pretty cool, and a few other features too, for sure. And if subscriptions aren't your thing, you don't want to do the whole Patreon thing, that's okay. We have another method you can help us out too, and that is through our Ko-fi page, ko-fi.com/freezenet. You can drop us a one-time donation, and we'll make sure every dollar does count. It currently goes towards the website, goes towards the YouTube channel, and of course it goes to our podcast. So I guess that is all for now, and until next time, keep it cool.